Thank you, Mr. President. First, I just want to indicate also that there is a lot to think about here when we're looking at artificial intelligence, and a lot of very serious questions that we've got to figure out. And I'm really pleased that we're seeing this bipartisan initiative in the Senate. Senator Schumer, our majority leader, coming forward, but also with other colleagues as well that are really helping us go through briefings and really look at all the questions, because it is very serious in terms of the questions. Something we have to deal with. It's not going away, but certainly there's a lot that we've got to figure out in all of this. But Mr. President, I come to the floor today, first of all, to say that, as everybody in this chamber knows, I'm extremely proud to be from Michigan. We are the state of innovation. We built the automobile assembly line, and the American middle class as a result. In Michigan, we make things and we grow things. Just take a look at recent headlines. Ford chose Marshall, Michigan as the site of a new battery plant. It's expected to create 2,500 jobs when it opens in 2026. In June, I was at the groundbreaking for a new UL Solutions battery lab in Auburn Hills. Their work is going to improve the batteries that go into electric vehicles like my Bolt, which I love. Hemlock Semiconductor, a proud Michigan company that manufactures products used in the semiconductor and the solar industries, is expanding its plant, creating an industrial park, creating 170 new jobs, and I expect a lot more jobs coming after that. And we're attracting businesses from Europe and around the world. This spring, the Norwegian company Nel Hydrogen announced that it's building a manufacturing plant in Michigan that's going to create more than 500 jobs. Exciting things are happening, and not just in Michigan, all around the country. All across the country, manufacturing facilities are opening, small businesses are launching, and folks are headed to work at good-paying jobs. This past month, 209,000 jobs were created. 209,000 jobs were created last month, which is 13.2 million jobs created since President Biden took office, and this is in less than 3 years, less than 2.5 years, about 2.5 years, I guess. And we are now seeing an unemployment rate that is 3.6%, under 4% for the last 17 months in a row. 17 months in a row.
Good afternoon, friends. This is important news for all Americans. The Federal Reserve has just made a major announcement. Americans may want to prepare for an economic recession, so many are now wondering whether the Federal Reserve's latest announcement will help garner support for another round of stimulus checks. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for the complete details. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Today, the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, announced that the central bank is prepared to raise rates further as it continues its fight to bring inflation back to its 2% target rate. Speaking at the Jackson Hole Economic Conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Jerome Powell reiterated his message to markets from 1 year ago. He said the Fed is going to bring down inflation one way or another. Powell also stated, "At last year's conference, I delivered a brief, direct message. My remarks this year will be a bit longer, but the message is the same. It is the Fed's job to bring inflation down to our 2% goal, and we will do so." Through the early months of 2023, many investors were bracing for a United States recession and planning for the Fed to begin the process of lowering interest rates. In his speech on Friday, Powell offered two future paths for interest rates, flat or higher. Powell said, "We have tightened policy significantly over the past year." According to Yahoo News, although inflation has moved down from its peak, it remains too high. The Federal Reserve says that they are prepared to raise rates further if appropriate and intend to hold policy at restrictive levels. This is until they are confident that inflation is moving sustainably down. However, given the magnitude of its rate hikes over the past 18 months, Jerome Powell also added that the Fed is in a position to proceed carefully as it mulls future actions. While Powell noted that inflation coming down in recent months has been a welcome development for the Fed, the Fed chair cautioned more progress will need to be made on this front. Powell pointed to core PCE inflation reaching 4.3% in July, after a reading of 4.1% in June, with the Fed chair citing estimates from the recent CPI data. Powell also noted that monetary policy will likely play an increasingly important role in bringing inflation down to 2% as crisis-related issues in the economy ease. In an op-ed published earlier this week, Jason Furman, the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Obama, argued that the Fed should be aiming to stabilize inflation below 3% and then push its 2% target higher in the coming years. In 2023, a strong U.S. economy has presented a challenge to the Fed on several levels, with the Fed chair noting the overall economy may not be cooling as expected, and the strength of the labor market has been at the center of this challenge. While monthly job gains have cooled through the summer, Powell said today that the labor market's rebalancing remains incomplete. So in turn, wage pressures have moderated. But as inflation has moderated, real wages, or those adjusted for inflation, have begun to rise, increasing household purchasing power and helping bolster recent readings like strong retail sales data. According to the Motley Fool, economists argue that stimulus funds can help steady the financial ship in the event of a recession. The stimulus checks that landed in bank accounts across the United States during the height of the crisis helped lift nearly 4 million children out of poverty. So as millions continue to struggle financially due to the rising cost of living, many Americans are showing great support for more stimulus checks. Tara Sinclair, an economics professor at George Washington University, told reporters that stimulus payments during times of a recession have been a common policy in the past and would likely be part of a federal response should a recession occur. A number of states have already begun issuing stimulus checks to their residents in response to skyrocketing inflation. For example, the state of Alabama is providing eligible residents with one-time tax rebates. The approved legislation in the state will provide $150 to single individuals and $300 to married couples. Also, in the state of Minnesota, they have begun to send out one-time tax rebates of up to $1,300 per family, with nearly 2.1 million rebates expected to be sent out by the end of this year. Well, my magnificent and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Friday. My dearest friends, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. Please make sure, friends, that you enter these weekly giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed Friday.